It's like I went to AA when I was at 25, and I guess it's the best decision I ever made, really, because my whole life's been built around not drinking. I just, the things that I have in my life, I've still got a really beautiful wife and kids that like me, that I hang around with, and, I can go on holidays with. I was having morning tea with them this morning, and...
All right, and we're off to the races. Brett Standring, how are you, mate?
Really good.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
We've done the deluxe package today. You did the breathwork, the ice bath. How'd you find all that, mate?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, I've done the Wim Hof that we've done before, the kind of app thing.
Yep.
I haven't done it for such a long time, and it's funny when you sort of jump back on and do it, how amazing you feel with it.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's been a great thing just to take that time out to do that breath work. I've
For
always
sure.
enjoyed it. So you asked, did I get the tingles in my fingers and my toes, and I got that, and I was like, you just feel really charged from it. So
It does,
great.
mate. Yeah, it does something good. And I haven't done it for a little while, and it just reminds you that, hang on, just to stop, listen to the birds, listen to the rain. Like, for all the punters at home, it's raining out here at the moment, and it's kind of nice, isn't it? It's nice feel on the roof.
Yeah,
But,
we get enough rain in the, what do they call it now? The sunshine hoax. Not the sunshine coast. So,
we get 30,
geez,
40
we've had some
millimetres.
rain,
Time.
a bit of, it's
yeah,
been nice lately.
Now, mate, just for everyone at home, you're an ultra marathon runner. You live in the Glasshouse Mountains. You're the founder of the Run Queensland.
Yeah.
So you've organised events such as the Blackhall 100, the Rainbow Beach Trail Festival, Yandina 50, and there's a few others there as well, isn't there?
Yeah, we've got six events in total. So that's been going about 13 years, the Run Queensland thing. So it's been good fun actually. It's enjoyable being able to bring something to people that you actually enjoy doing,
nice.
And that's what it is. So
nice.
We've got a great team of people that are in and around the event, tons of volunteers that are just amazing. Great guys. So
awesome, mate. Awesome. Now, just to get us out of the blocks, mate, I generally do a quick quiz just so people at home get to know you a bit better. There's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. Anything you want to come up with is up to your imagination. But question number one, what was your favourite cartoon growing up as a kid?
I don't know.
He-Man.
I didn't mind the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
But I
Turtles,
probably wasn't a kid then. I think I was probably a teenager. That's pretty average, isn't it?
How are you doing?
I didn't mind Transformers and things like that, but I don't know if I was a kid. I was probably a teenager.
He was 21 years old watching Raphael, Donatello, Leonardo doing their thing.
Oh, yeah. I think I wagged school at year 12 to go watch the first movie.
How big was that when it came out? That was huge.
So good,
yeah. Because obviously we'd known it as a cartoon. That was it. Yeah, but when that came out, I think we probably wagged school just to go see that as well. Yeah,
cool.
But it was a packed house. Like everyone wanted to go see the TNMTs.
The Turtles,
Turtle power.
I had one friend that when I was working, he said, "Oh, it was really amazing. There was a lot of humans there." Yeah. I was sort of like, "What did you think? Turtles were going to be there or something?" I think there's going to be a heap of turtles.
And Splinter, he was the wise rat, and April O'Neil was the journo. Yeah, far out. Taking me back there, mate. Good times. Now you're from the Glasshouse Mountain. What's your favourite mountain in the Glasshouse?
Probably Canaran, because we get to see Mount Canaran or Crookneck.
Oh, it's Crookneck. Okay. I've always known it as Crookneck.
Yeah, so the proper name's Canaran. Crooked Neck.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. There you go.
The stooped one.
Because I think when I was about 19, 20, we tried to climb it illegally. I don't think you can climb it, can you?
No, it's been closed, I think, for about 23 years now.
Yeah, wow. There you go.
A bit fragile, apparently.
Well, we got to a point where it was like overhang. We didn't have ropes. And that one dude's like, oh, let's keep going. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going.
I'll tell you, it's a good decision. There's a few people that lost their lives on that one. And over the years.
So you're looking right at Canaran?
Yeah, we look at him looking out to the west.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of northwest, I guess, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Question 3, multiple choice this one. What's going through your head when you're lining up for a long time? A, I wonder if there's a shorter line. B, can this guy in front of me just hurry the hell up? Or C, a Rick Astley song?
If it was in the 80s, it probably would have been Rick Astley.
Yeah,
I probably got over him. I did enjoy watching him do somersaults off brick wall. Oh, no, that was the other one of the dancers in there doing somersaults off brick walls.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be the probably, I wish it was a shorter line.
Yeah.
I think that was A, wasn't it?
We all.
Once you said Rick Astley, I drifted back to
I
the
know,
80s.
I know. Yeah,
That threw me.
Well, what is it? Rick Rolling, is it? I'm never gonna give you up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you down.
Yeah.
So like, I think all the kids are into that now. So it's a thing, Yeah. Rick Astley is making a huge comeback.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
For real?
All the Gen Zers love him. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like I don't know.
He was touring, I think, maybe like 12 months ago.
Well, he's probably touring now because everyone on social media's got back into
Rick Astley.
Yeah.
Well, everyone will be wearing suits and things like that again.
It's kind of like he knows, though, it's taking the piss. But it's like, fuck, he's milking it for all he can.
Yeah,
so
wow.
why not? Yeah. He only had one crack of it, but he's coming around the roundabout again. Yeah. Go, Rick. Okay, next question. Which body part gives you the most grief as an ultra marathon runner?
I guess it's probably your legs.
Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah, probably your legs. I would say they sort of give out. Your mind can play tricks.
I'd
say your legs.
I was thinking maybe your left earlobe or
I've
something.
got to tell you, one time it was me bloody bum.
Yeah.
I had chafed that bad.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to say this, but it looked like a Japanese flag, me bum at the end of it, I reckon.
Jeez.
So I've learned a little bit about body glide and things like that since then. But yeah, I would say legs. You got to use those things.
Do you VAS up? Like what do you do to prep for?
Yeah, I'd use squirrel's nut butter, actually. It's called.
Of course. Would it be called anything else? Squirrel's nut butter.
You get body glide and stuff like that. But yeah, you definitely want that sort of stuff around that area.
Yeah, most definitely.
I mean, that can ruin you. They're the 1%ers, I guess. If you get them right, you don't have to deal with them on the day.
Yeah.
Your legs.
You see, like, these survival shows and stuff, like, you got some really tough boys and girls doing things, but they can literally be walking on a trail and literally roll their ankle and you're gone, you're cooked. So if you were to do, like, you've obviously stood in some potholes and undulated ground. Have you ever rolled your ankle, broken a leg, done anything, any injury on a trail?
Oh, no, I haven't. Not with legs. I guess you kind of get used to the rocking and rolling of a trail. You kind of pick your foot up, I guess, after a while, and you sort of learn you're not spending a lot of time on the ground with your feet if you can. You're trying to, faster contact. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, I haven't had any of that. I mean, we see a lot of them in events.
Yep. Yeah. Because that, look, I was just telling, so everyone at home, I was just telling Brett that we did the 48-kilometer Kokoda challenge, and it was really hard. It was not easy to finish that. It took a lot of, I don't know, but in my head, I'm going to finish it no matter what. But we went through a lot of pain, and there was just things but to me, the pain came and went.
Yeah.
It's not sustained unless it's a broken leg. It comes and it goes, and you find out a lot about yourself on a trip like that. But there's a lot of people that are pulling out because of bung legs or I don't know. I think a lot of people probably pull out mentally. Well, it's I'm done.
I think the thing with ultra running for me, it's like a metaphor for life, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a controlled environment, so you kind of, you're putting yourself there. But it's like you said, like there's moments in life where there's pain, whether it's mental or going through relationship things, whatever it might be.
Yep.
To know that pains can be just temporary. You can work through things, and I think that's what I've learned a lot from the running, and I guess that's what you were saying. There's moments where you probably should pull out, should end something, I guess, or whatever. And I think that controlled environment of a run, it's completely different to actually being in a, I guess, a real life
for sure
incident. So let's totally get that. Process you're talking about. It's knowing that. I mean, you're talking, you've lost toenails and whatnot, and
it's nothing on the grand scale, I think, but it is. You've learned. Like, I've never done 48 k's in a day. Like, I don't know what that looks like. And I think I told you I've packed the bag with way too many things, and like 5 k's in, you realise you've just overdone it, and you want to actually get just rid of all this shit out of your bag you don't need.
Yeah.
And even with shoes, like talking about shoes, is like I double socked for 48 Ks. So I'm probably too much pressure on the feet as well.
Sure.
So next time, just one pair of socks and, you know, leave it at that.
Yep.
You don't want to be losing bloody nails left, right and centre. So, yeah. Mate, we're almost done. Visual question. You're at the set of lights and the guy in front of you is on their phone and doesn't notice that the lights turn green. Do you, A, just wait until he looks up, B, a quick courtesy honk, C, a full-blown honk with a few expletives out the window?
I'm a B person.
You're a B? Yeah.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm probably a C person, but I've learned as I've got older to be a B person.
Yes.
And with my frame, it's probably better to be a B person because I could be doing a C to the wrong person. That might then be good if it's a road rager. So look, I'm not in as much of a hurry as I used to be.
I think that's the point, mate. Is I don't know why everyone's in such a hurry, because some people I've kind of noticed that people are in this hurry to get home, and when they get home, they just watch Netflix. What's another 2 minutes? You know, but it's like, I've got to get home. It's a rush. But it's like, and you get into this habitual state of, you know, I've got to, you know, get in the car, I've got to put the gas down, and I've just got to go. And then you get home and it's like, then you just veg out and eat corn chips for fucking 4 hours. You know?
That sounds like a great idea. I don't know. I guess it's the way that I guess we've evolved. Hey, it's this fast pace and having everything and everything's got to be done today and trying to fit everything in, I suppose. I don't know.
You don't seem like a guy that reacts though. So if someone does, even if the shoe's on the other foot, if someone's having a crack at you, you the kind of like it happened to me not long ago. And I was like, do you need a hug? Like, to me, it's about diffusing it. It's like, and obviously you're dealing with someone that, I don't know, may not be in a good place.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do is throw fuel on the fire.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's trying to diffuse it. I kind of get a little bit of that on Facebook with a couple of things we're dealing with over our way. And, I notice when I post stuff, you kind of get, it's getting... You
get a bit of lashback.
Yeah, heaps of things. Kind of all these names, and I sort of looked at it and I thought, you could comment on this stuff and really get in there and chew it and have a good go with it. I'm just like, what's the value in it? There's no value. So
it's a massive waste.
It's also too, I talk to my other people around me, like, if I'm in that sort of state where I'm like, I feel like I'm going to write something back just to fire it. Yeah. It's nice just to be able to run it by like Megan, my wife, and, bring you down to a normal peg sort of thing.
I think your default mechanism in some ways is to go, oh, hang on, someone doesn't like me, or someone said something bad about me, or because in some ways we're not used to negative feedback, right? We can all take positive feedback quite well, but it's when the negative stuff comes, it's like, and it could be, well, you want to get your back up, or, it's like, no, fuck you, or, so, but no good comes out of that.
Never.
And, so actually reacting to that situation and writing back, I'm going to show them, like, what good comes out of it? Again, they'll probably just come, like, it's just one of these things that it never goes anywhere and no one's the better for it.
Well, I think that's part of the problem with the bloody planet. I mean, you've got politicians that actually just do that all day.
Yeah.
Just sling shit. And to me, it's like, it's of no consequence. It's just pointless. And
that's it. Yeah.
These people lead these countries and stuff. So I kind of try and hopefully, on a ground level, it's all of us that are trying to make the change, and hopefully they can see the bloody change and do something. But whether that happens or not,
mate, I've seen it. There's like, not all politicians like that, but I'm the same. I'm disillusioned by these elections coming up, and I don't know who I'm voting for, and I wish I did. I'm 46. Like, it'd be nice to know that I'm voting for someone that I actually give a shit about. I have no clue, but I've met some politicians in the last, in particular, Jared Rennick, and he's salt of the earth, and he's got a really good heart, and but in today's climate, there doesn't seem to be a space for that. There's not enough drama attached to it. I don't know what it is, but this guy is someone that I'd follow in a battle, and he doesn't seem to get the recognition that I think he deserves.
Yeah, well, I heard him on the podcast, one of the ones that you produced, and and I knew a lot about him during COVID too. He was quite outspoken and still is.
Yep.
Because he loves all the facts and numbers and all that. Talked about but he produces different numbers to the
Well, he's data driven.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can go too wrong with the facts, and just what data says. But we won't go down that budgie hole.
It's long one,
mate, last question. Are you a budgie smuggler man or a Boardies man?
Oh, I'm probably budgie. I've got both, but I don't mind budgie smugglers. I actually don't mind that brand. So
for everyone listening to the audio podcast, Brett's rocked up today with budgie smugglers on. When obviously we had to put the branding on, so we've got the thirsty threads on. How are the thirsty threads going, mate?
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, cool.
So they're really comfortable. So yeah, I've got me budgies underneath.
You got 3 layers going on.
Oh, so good.
Nice, mate. Nice.
I'm warming up now after the ice bath.
Yeah. Well, that's it, mate. Yeah, we've got to melt. And this is the thing, I think, with the conversation too. I feel the conversation's always a bit better after doing those things.
Yeah.
And there's a bit more clarity around the thought and thinking about, okay, how's this going to go? What do we want to talk about? But one of the main things I wanted to talk to you about, mate, is you did something in your life quite young that a lot of people still probably are struggling with. Is you gave up alcohol at the age of 25, mate. Mm-hmm. Talk us through that. What happened there to make that happen?
Oh, look, I was just I suppose I was just kind of cruising through life with not much direction.
Yep.
I suppose I identified that most of the dramas in my life were when I drank.
Yeah.
Like how, I'd get in a lot of trouble through doing stupid things, saying stupid things,
yep.
Behaving like an idiot. I mean, I'm kind of still childish at 52.
Yeah.
You add alcohol to that, and it's almost like whatever that living thing inside me, it comes out, and it's, you just didn't know whether you were going to get like a calm sort of Brett or an angry Brett. It was just unpredictable. And I just became quite paranoid with it waking up the next day. I mean, I guess if I could have remained pissed, I'd probably be doing it now.
Yeah.
It's the waking up the next day for me became just unbearable.
Yeah. Mate, I can empathise with that. I look back at all the dipshit decisions I've ever made in life, and 8% of them involve alcohol. Mm. And I just don't think it's never been it's not a better version of me going through all that crap. And like I'm a bit like yourself. I'm a bit of an extrovert, love talking, love getting out there, but when it comes to alcohol, there's no filter, and you say some stupid shit sometimes, and that stupid shit can get you into trouble, and you wake up the next day going, what the fuck did I just say? And it can be problematic, to go through life with that. But I think there's a lot of people out there that a lot of their woes come from alcohol. And not to say that, there's nothing wrong with seeing the sun come up and down, or not probably coming up, but going down and having a sundowner and enjoying that with good company. But the days of drinking 16, 17 beers and stuff, I think they're done for me. They're over, but yeah,
I think it's, for me, the point was that, like, I was an apprentice and I'd have no pay on Saturday, basically. And I was thinking, am I shouting everyone? But then I realised I must have been drinking a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because I was a bit of a miserable bastard. So I don't imagine I was shouting too many people. But I don't know. Like, I'd just wake up and I couldn't remember. And then, I couldn't hold relationships because I think people were growing up.
Yeah.
Or the girls that I were with were growing up.
Yep.
And I just refused to. Like, there was this child in me that, like, I'm not a child, I guess a teenager. It was almost like, it's like I went to AA when I was at 25, and I guess it's the best decision I ever made, really, because my whole life's been built around not drinking. I just, the things that I have in my life, I've still got a really beautiful wife and kids that like me, that I hang around with, and I can go on holidays with. I was having morning tea with them this morning, and you know, that sort of stuff. And
but do they see through their eyes? Do you think they just see a more stable dad?
Well, they never see me drink.
So that's true.
So for them, they
don't know anything else.
They see an unstable dad, probably. They probably see a guy that's a little bit nuts and all over the shop a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of my personality.
I think there's something about being that Peter Pan as well. Older in life is like, who the fuck wants to be that serious person that just takes life too serious? Like, I love talking to kids and just there's always an alligator under the bed, or there's a boogeyman in the dark, or like all that shit to me is creativity and excitement, and I love all that stuff. I think just to be that mundane, I feel a lot of humans later in life start to lose their spirit, and like the glow starts to
for sure
dim.
I think our society's set up to bash it out of you, though.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, you can see it, like it's in a lot of people that, just having to roll through life without that kind of joy for life. I mean, I'm not saying I'm joyful all the time or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I know I don't have the same problems that I did when I was drinking and stuff.
Yep.
I mean, it was a difficult process to stop drinking. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
That's for sure. It wasn't easy. I found it really difficult being 25 and, I was playing football still. And
what did you play? You AFL?
Yeah, Aussie rules then.
Yep.
Obviously,
and was that part of the culture as well? You finish a game and then straight on the piss.
I hear this when I used to go to AA, everyone used to say, I used to work in an industry where there was a drinking culture. And I'm like, it wouldn't have mattered what industry I was in, I'd have found the drinking culture. And if they had not have been like saying, come on, let's get on the piss, I'd have created it myself. And it's all, you find what you know what I mean? You find, it's no surprise that kind of I found you and Dwayne, what you guys are all talking about. It's what I'm talking about. So why wouldn't I connect in that? You
always find what you're searching for.
I think so. I think you do.
Look, it may take over time. Yeah. Did you find AA really helps you?
Yeah, it did help me. I think the biggest thing I found, it's a bit goddy for me, and I'm not a God person. And it was started in the 30s with that kind of religiosity. It's not really for me. I actually think that for me, spirit's all about going inside and that internal stuff, what lights you up, what you're talking about, lighting you up, how you connect and all that stuff. I connect with nature, and that's what the running's about as well.
Well, so that was part of it for you, as you then quit drinking, and then when did you start doing the long run, the ultra marathon stuff?
Probably when I was about 34, 35.
Okay.
But I mean, I was always a runner. I was always into sport. So, I did little athletics till I was 16 or something. I was the last one left. I became age champion when I was under 15s or 16s. I was the only one there. Everyone else was out like doing girl and boy things. And here's Brett still doing little athletics. I was still running on a Friday night.
Did you scouts, did you?
I've tried that one night. It wasn't for me, scouts.
Got your not tying badge and stuff. But mate, that's so then you started to venture into not just running, but so what's the longest distance you've done running?
About 242 Ks is the longest I've run.
Where was that?
That was in what they call a backyard ultra. So I basically ran for 36 hours.
Where was that?
Out in Nanango.
Oh, Nanango. Okay.
So you basically do 6.7 Ks an hour and start again on the hour. And then you go till there's only one person does a lap on their own. So everyone just starts dropping out. But I dropped out well and truly early. I was sort of in the top 10, but the winners did 100 and something hours. So do
you feel you know where your limits lie when it comes to physical, endurance? Or you still want to test yourself with that?
Yeah, look, I'm hopefully put my name down for a race in November. You had to qualify, and it's an old one called Coast to Cozzy. And I can't remember the name. It's down near Eden. You start on the beach, literally on the beach, and you run to Mount Kosciuszko up there, highest peak in Australia, and 240 Ks.
It's through summer?
It'd be November. So I think you do it all on the road. I'm really interested in that. It's an old race that's been around for a long time, and it's sort of been revamped, and they only put 60 in it. So you got to qualify, and I've got qualifying races this year and a bit of a track record that might get me in there. So you got to get allowed into it. You got to apply and
so it's a goal that you want to. That's on the cards.
I want to go back to another race called Western States. And try and do that in under 24 hours. I went there in 2018. It was run on the weekend actually. Had a couple of friends in there. It's hard to get in. So I'd like to try and get back into that. You've got to get your name drawn out of a golden barrel in December. And
do they have that cut off because they don't want someone wants to know the line 3 days later? Like they've literally, you've obviously got to support like you've got a big crew.
Yeah.
You've got to be doing it in a certain amount of time.
Yeah. This one, the one in America is 30 hours.
Yeah, right.
So it's pretty hard for 100 mile.
Yep.
The winners did it in 14 hours, and then there's people that won't make the cutoff.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's unbelievable when you see how hot it is. It gets to like nearly 40 degrees there, and there's a lot of elevation, like about 6. They call it a downhill race because there's more downhill than uphill. And I'm like, it's as hilly as anything. You start the race with a 6K climb straight up a ski slope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to see if I could do it. I'd have to train, I think, properly.
Yep.
I think I've still got that in me, the training that'd be required to try and do that.
Yep.
It'd be more disciplined than what I've done in the last probably 8 or 9 years.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't do structured. I just run.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
When I've had enough, I just stop.
So we were talking before, like before we jumped in the ice bath, about understanding your limitations and leaving ego at the door. And you find that, especially with endurance running, there's a couple of times you just said, no, I'm just not feeling it, or I feel like I'm going into a red zone where I'm overdoing it. You don't want to cook yourself, obviously. That happens, doesn't it?
Yeah. It can be dangerous. It can be dangerous running long. There's rhabdomyosis is one of the big problems, and hyponatremia. They're the two usually bigger problems.
Yeah.
But I've had it where I've started the line injured and I've kind of gone a little bit further. I get a bit of a problem with one of my knees.
Yeah,
it's not too bad. It's only mostly when I run.
Yep.
Long.
Yep.
It was so painful, and I thought, what am I doing? The enjoyment wasn't there, and I thought, I'm going to do damage here. So I've dropped out there, and one other race that it's been like, the pain in my leg was too much, and I thought I'm going to do damage. And, But I think it's understanding.
Yep.
That's everything, I suppose. Knowing when the pain's too much.
I've given water skiing up because I reckon I've spent 3 years in recovery to about 20 minutes of being on the water.
Yeah.
So like I've done more injuries in arms and stuff, and it's like and even though I enjoy it, I love it. Of just the injuries that I picked up from it is sort of like, maybe this is not your thing.
What do you get? Like, so for you, it's obviously upper arm. You'd have to have upper arm and upper body strength, obviously.
Yeah. I've ripped a biceps. It took forever. And I did a forearm, like basically just ripping muscles.
Yeah.
And I was on the wrong fucking board for starters, but just those little things. But when they happen, they kick you out for 8-9 months. Like there's a long recovery for just those sort of injuries. So it's just like you get out of the bathtub and you fuck it up again, you know, and just so it's like, oh, okay, I've just taken 5 steps back to recovery. So but it's sort of just understanding your own body as well. And I think, obviously you understand your body very well and what it's capable of, and, when it's, I suppose, it needs hydration and it needs food. And, so with the running thing, I found that really interesting. Like, I didn't feel hungry at all through the whole process. The next day I was like, every hour I was eating something.
Yeah, once you're done. I mean, I think it's we see it a lot in the races, because we get like people that will come and try trail running for the first time, and they turn up like you were telling me, with three like a picnic and a hamper basically, and
that's the only thing I didn't have was the blanket.
They might as well have a sizzler in their backpack, and so we see a lot of that.
Yeah.
But once you start running, your body, it's not worried about.
No.
There's enough stored fat on your body to keep itself going anyway.
Yep.
So, it's the last thing your body wants to be doing is trying to digest food.
Yeah, that's it.
All it's trying to do is bloody keep all the extremities of your body moving.
That's it. So, yeah.
And I think the other thing with running is probably, as opposed to say what you're talking about, wakeboarding, is I think that running's a natural thing.
Yeah.
So as opposed to, wakeboarding's very unnatural, really. I mean, I guess you can naturally get good at it, but as a human, we probably never thought of that until people made boats and
that's right,
ropes and stuff. So there's a different sort of set of strengths that you need with that. Where I think with running, as long as your legs work, you can do it.
Well, I heard a podcast the other day about humans when it comes to actually, like back in the days, the animalistic days when we were running after prey. We didn't have any fur on us, so the body could regulate temperature quite well through sweating. but we could go for a lot longer. So you could actually chase down your prey. You may not, you're not a cheater, you know, but you'll get it eventually. Yeah. And but the body was so good at regulating and cooling the body to get where you need to go. So and obviously people are starting to understand now that having strong legs these days is a good thing. Yeah. You know, if you're doing keeping these things nice and strong. That's the one thing I did notice on the thing was like I wasn't felt 100% strong in my legs, and that was something that, you know, mentally you got to change that. It's like, fuck, you're doing it now. Just, you know, strong thoughts.
Oh yeah, and I mean 48 Ks is it's a long way to go. Like it doesn't sound a lot.
Yeah.
But you start drawing it like when you start saying, oh, well, that's from here to Caboolture.
Yeah.
You know, that's a long way.
Yeah.
When you're doing it on foot, you know, and then for you guys, throwing a few, I know that area you did.
Yeah.
A few hills. They call them hills. You might as well call them mountains.
Oh,
you know, throw a few of those in, and you've got downhills on top of that. They're the worst for your legs because they smash the crap out of your quads.
I feel like the people that put these things together are a little bit crazy, a little sadistic. Like, you know, there's something about them that's like, yeah, this is going to fuck with them, you know. Yeah. But that's all part of it, you know.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, massive
it's a challenge. Maybe we're not challenged enough physically anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not. You know, I guess we're more stagnant than we've ever been.
Yeah. But mate, in some ways you're saving a shitload of money too, but you don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't do all this shit. So and you've got what food you're cultivating in your backyard?
Yeah, I made a nice bloody chicken soup yesterday.
There you go.
Beautiful. You know, I had a
you cutting your own chickens, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
okay.
I felt really funny doing it, and one of my uncles is a farmer, and he sort of taught me.
Yep.
And I got to the point where I was like, if I'm willing to go and buy meat, I should be willing to. I should at least have the courage to be able to dress or kill them.
Yeah.
Dress just sounds nice.
Yep.
Dress my own chicken.
Yep.
So I you know, if I got an excess of roosters, you know, someone sort of said to me, how do you know when
it's time?
I said, they usually let me know about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That's about time. So you know, I made a really lovely soup, and tonight I've got this old Brazilian dish. I think it's called encondininho.
Oh yeah.
And you just sort of pressure cook a silver side, which, you know, I buy that.
Yeah.
And you add a bit of paprika to it, and it breaks it up. But then I used the cassava from the farm yesterday. I just boiled it up and make this mash. So, you know, I don't. Yeah, you know,
it's not very often that your gut's yelling at you because you've got something in there that's disagreeing with what's going on. You're just eating stuff out of the backyard.
Well, it's like a chicken bone broth too, because I'm slow cooking them all day, and you know, add some vegetables to it. And
there you go.
It's really good. It's good. It's something about achieving cooking your own food. I don't even know how to do it. You know, I pulled a bunch of bananas down today, and some. You know, I made a ginger and banana cake because we got like some bananas and some ginger and
nice. Mate, the other thing too is you've started up a bit of a men's group out your way. You've got how many acres you got at your place?
We got 10 acres.
10 acres,
yeah. So I do a men's group. It's actually tonight. So
all right.
I was like, I forgot about all these different things I had on today, and I was like, oh, shit. So we got a men's group, but I'm in a common ground group. So that's been going for a long time, common ground. And then on every second Sunday, we're meeting and doing yarning circles. And I think a couple of the guys in our men's group have really, they shared a podcast the other day that was on, can't even remember the name of it, but it was on YouTube, and it was talking about men's suicide, young men particularly. That, you know, there's four times more chance of men committing suicide.
Yeah, it's a horrible stat.
Than women. Yep. And I just think, I think the whole thing's terrible, but the big takeaway was, and I spoke to my friend about it who tried to take his life. This guy said that there was always two things that came up for men that either had attempted it or were thinking about it, and it was worthlessness and feeling useless. And they really talked into that. And when I asked my friend that, the first word he said was, I felt worthless. And I was floored because I thought, you know, he doesn't know this stuff. And I just asked him out of the blue, and he's quite happy to share his story. So we kind of feel that, that there's a connection between, I guess, maybe dads and sons. I don't know if it's across the board, but I know I didn't have a connection with my dad in any real thing other than talking about Parramatta eels or the weather sort of thing, or work. There was never any depth,
surface level sort of conversations.
How you actually feel, or
you
know, he never had the courage to me. You know, I went to AA because I became like my dad, and I never wanted to be my dad. That was the reality. I remember thinking that. I was like, shit, I'll become my dad. And that was the turning point. I went, looked in the yellow pages, found AA.
And you segued.
I went there. Segued there. That was because I seen the truth of myself, I suppose, in that moment. And I didn't have that. My dad died 2 years ago, and I had a really lovely time with him, which sounds weird, as he was dying. I got to interview him. I recorded some conversation, but there was still, he didn't have any really wisdom that he sort of cultivated over his life. It was still really, I felt sad in a way that the things he was talking about, there was no real depth to it.
Do you think in that time though, he realized it's all shit? Like what are we trying to,
totally,
you know, and he understood then in that time that I'm on the way out. So anything that we had in the past that, you know, these little minor disagreements or something at the end of the day aren't, you know, they're neither here nor there.
He did. Yeah. He really did. My wife says that Megan says that he purified himself in the last 10 days before he went. He spent his last 10 days in a cabin on our property.
Yeah, right.
And we made King Arthur's palace.
Yeah.
And he had people, like, he thought that the doctors were going to fix his stomach and everything would be all right.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're fucking as yellow as fuck. Yeah. Your liver's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he was riddled with cancer.
Yep.
I don't know if but he seemed to accept this journey that it was over.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I feel a bit emotional, but it's not really about what happened for him is really important. Like, he was there, I can play the didgeridoo, and he was there doing clapsticks, you know, 2 days before he died.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think my son walked in and farted, and he was almost dead, and he just walked over and said, pow, 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 load him up, or something like that. Yeah. And then just went back, and you know, you
got something out of him, some energy that was just.
Well, I said to him about working, and he was a Labor man all his life. He was never going to vote for anyone but Labor. It didn't matter if the politician was shit. He was just Labor.
Same for my parents, mate. Though. Yeah.
Fucking railway for 50 years in New South Wales.
Yeah.
He just didn't. There was no change. It was all really comfortable.
Yeah.
And he said, and I think he was a Freemason.
Yeah.
Because I was just saying, fucking, you got any goats in the backyard, mate?
Just pull the book out from the wall and secret. Yeah,
what's going on, mate?
Society,
They let us know, mate. And he just sort of said, I think it was all bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know, what I realised, he gave a lot of his energy to a lot of outside things that actually had no bearing on his real impact on life.
Yep.
He was the kind of guy that was always on the wrong side of a camera. He loved to take photos to show people about his family instead of fucking the camera off and being with his family. And it's that shit.
Yeah.
You know, and I watch, you know, people walking around all fucking day with photos. And I mean, I'm kind of guilty of that. I'm not of myself. I don't rate myself that enough. But you know, continually taking photos to share with other people to get validation.
Yeah, well.
And I'm like, dude.
Well, with what I do, mate, I'm very aware of that. And so I don't generally take any photos or video, and I don't like doing it. I prefer to appreciate the moment. I really struggle with social media, knowing that for business it can be fantastic. I prefer connecting with humans one-on-one. Yeah. And that's how I've always, but it's such a powerful tool for your business or for whatever's going on. But in that moment, standing in front of a moon, and, you know, it's a full moon and you've got a breeze blowing and there's palm trees and coconuts and all that, like, it actually disrupts you from being connected. And I've always been very aware of that. And I think, but it's not about showing someone that photo and going, hey, how good am I that I was there? That, like, who gives a shit?
No one does.
I just feel like, you know, a lot of the conversations that we're having is like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, we need to get back to, you know, connecting with Mother Nature. And with the planet and, leaving these things. I saw a really cool painting the other day, and I actually want to buy it. It was like a really busy subway, and all these people were walking backwards and forwards through the subway, and they're all looking at their phones. And there was 2 robots, and there was a baby robot that was actually doing a painting. Yeah, and I thought, but how true to life is that? In some way we're turning into the robots, and the robots are actually becoming more human.
Yeah.
So it's the way that we're sort of headed. It doesn't mean you don't have to be aware of that, and you've kind of set yourself up to live in a place that is grounded and connected to the earth and connected to the planet, and you're running, and you've got the Glasshouse Mountains as your backdrop, and so that's your existence these days, and you've decided to in some ways not do what everyone else has done.
Well, you're right though, because the social media aspect is important because it's a connection tool to get a message across. And I can sit there sometimes and I catch myself scrolling. And my mind becomes like that. It's like my mind flicks as quick as my attention span's almost like the bloody thing that you're flicking. And I'm like, it's trying to get the balance on that. And I can catch myself where I'm just, it's too much. And
that's what I think awareness is huge. So if you, because these things are set up to understand how your brain works.
Yeah.
Right. So when you get on it, it's like, oh, let's just show Brett fucking marathon runners, or just all that stuff, and it's just all good stuff. It's all strawberries and cream every time you flick. So, but it is understanding though that you could lose a half an hour every day. Everyone's whinging about not having enough time, like you say.
But it's a story.
Yeah,
it really is a story, and I'm aware of that.
Yep.
In that sense, but I'm not always totally aware of that.
Yeah.
So I think like back to that, the whole thing with the men's group is what we're trying to get is, I guess it's on a Sunday at about 3 p.m. We're going to try to reinvigorate it on the 6th of July, where we're going to get together with a few people that are concerned about how do we connect from like my generation, which I call the old farts now.
Yeah.
To those young lads that are in their 20s, which is my son. You've met Noah.
Yep.
They're young 20s, but then hopefully where we can get potentially maybe fathers that want to bring their teenage sons.
Yeah.
Because we feel like there's a big jump from teenager to in the 20s.
Yep.
And, with these connections, these young fellas can hear these 20-year-olds. And then obviously we're trying to share our shared experience. But I've sat with these young blokes, the way they date is weird to me. I was shocked when we had we get all these conversations. The topic might have come up. I think it was about dating or something like that and how we connect with women. And I thought, well, even listening to them, I was able to then sort of reflect on how I connect with Megan, because we've been together nearly 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you learn from these young guys about communication, or they trigger something in you, probably more than anything. It triggers something in you. That's what it does, and you become aware of something. And I think I have to be sitting in saunas and chatting with mics in front of me, because like even though I'm aware that we'll put this online, like I walk away from bloody doing breath work and jumping in the ice bath and then having a sauna, I walk away this afternoon feeling better about who I am. I'm reinvigorated about like this Sunday thing. I've got my men's group tonight.
Well, mate, that's a big part of why I do it, because I want to create an experience where and I've seen people come in frazzled. We do the breath work, the ice bath, the sauna, and they leave replenished, recharged, and I can see it in their eyes. I can see the whites of their eyes come back.
Yeah.
So it's and then they go out with a smile on their face. So that's a big part of why I do this as well. Is if I can help. It's not just for, like, obviously I want to hear people's stories and while they do things, but if we can start on a good note by doing a few things before we jump in, then it's sort of like the warm up to before we jump in front of the microphone.
It's a circuit breaker, mate. In the day, it really is. It's like, because at the moment I'm not thinking of anything else except talking in the mic. I don't really know what we've said, because I cringe, because when I've seen a couple of things, oh shit, why did I say that? But I guess like that's the whole thing, when you can drop the BS and kind of really delve into what's going on and who you are. And that's what I think with the men's circle that we're doing, is to hopefully get people to just be talk about what's currently alive in you, and
Yep.
you know, not to worry about if there's these fears or worries and stuff, because we all have them, you know, like security and how do we deal with, you know.
I think half the battle is getting it out of your head. So I think it can get on loop. And if, I don't know, for me, I can talk to, and that's why having Sari around is a great sounding board. Generally, I've already worked it out by the time I've got it out of my head. You know what I mean? But it's great to have someone else just to bounce back and you know, have that person in your life. And like if you are single and you don't have someone like that, there's plenty of things like going to, you know, to your men's group. There's plenty of that stuff popping up. But it's, once you get there, it's hard to be vulnerable, isn't it? And actually, you know, just...
I think the hardest thing's getting there, Shea.
Yeah.
Because I think you get talked out of it. It's like, you know, I sort of see it, and I have these moments like, what have I got to contribute?
Yeah.
I've just got, you know, my story, but it's pooling, it's like pooling our resources and our shared experiences from life.
Yep.
And that's what we would have done that back in the old days.
For sure.
That's what we would have done. Like, we would have been around talking in that. And I think now we're more isolated. I mean, I don't classify Facebook and all that, or Messenger and all that. It's good to message someone. That to me is not connecting in any way, shape, or form. There's no illness about it.
I think understanding that this is not going away.
No.
So whinging about it's not going to help it.
No.
So it's like, okay, how can we adapt to have this part of, you know, moving forward and still not have that glow go out and that spirit go out with people? So how can we integrate it into what we're doing so you can still have a smile on your face? You're still aware that, okay, you know, scrolling for half an hour is silly, but having that space where you can still do those, like, because this is obviously, we're doing a podcast here. It goes up on YouTube. It goes up into Spotify and Apple and all that sort of shit. Like, you know, I can't sit here and say that I'm not, you know, I'm not part of the problem. And I don't think it is a problem. I think you can make it into it. It can be a problem, but it's using it in a way that you can still keep that spirit and soul alive in yourself. But you know, it's not going anywhere. You know?
Oh yeah, I think it's like, does it benefit? If it benefits someone, it's a great idea. I mean, I think it's been the best thing because it kind of allows people like us to just have a yarn, and potentially share it, and it might, you never know who it's going to hit.
That's right,
and it might get someone that really needs to hear something on that day. And, you know, you're not normally going to get that. We were governed by 5 channels, I think, back in the day, 10, 9, 7, 2.
0.
And 0. Channel SBS. Yeah, we had those 5 channels. So we were very limited to the information we were getting. And I guess, you know, that television. So it was whatever was wanted to be fed to humans was there. And I think you can find so many different things now on YouTube and all these different things that, you know, can help change, you know, you can improve your life in any way you want, really, now.
Well, it literally can come down to, you know, that have I got a negative mindset or have I got a positive one? And that ripples. That there's a wave there, and that will dictate the algorithm on what comes through your news feed. If you love seeing dramatic shit, you know, that'll come through your news feed. But if you're always, you know, positive and you've got these affirmations that, you know, that are good and being a healthy and all that sort of stuff, that'll come through as well. So it's it's all what's happening up here, I suppose, is what's happening. But I've always just had this opinion: if you're whinging about it, you're losing. So it's just okay. It's like, oh, how can we work with these things? Because I still, like you, I'm 46. And I think I was in an era, like, I still remember talking in year 12 to this girl I was so in love with about porn being on these, and I was like, this is such a cool conversation. But it's like, and you had the Netscape Navigator and all this sort of crap going on. And it was like, you know, like you're hearing all these sounds, and it's like, but that was 20 years ago, and that is now just what everyone does, and it's part of, you know, everything that we do. So it's like, how can we, you know, as I said, I don't make sure if we're at the back and having a chat with you, I'm not on my phone while I'm talking to you. It's just fucking rude.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there's, I think just having a few rules and regulations around how you govern it yourself, and catch yourself out when you know, because it is set up for you to slip, I reckon.
Yeah.
And get into mindset of just scrolling.
Oh, well, then you become a consumer.
Yeah,
We are the product. You know what I mean? Like we're the end product. You know, where they're trying to sell product to, or convince you need something. You're lacking because you haven't got something.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I'm trying to get less of this shit. Like, I try to buy stuff that I really need, and if I do need it, I try and buy better quality
stuff. Yeah.
Instead of shit that I'm going to throw away, 10 minutes later. But I was like that.
Yeah.
You know, and then I was stopped spending money willy-nilly.
Yeah.
I don't spend a lot much, so I don't need a lot anymore.
Yeah.
And that's, I love that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm trying to really, I was walking around and I picked some mulberries this morning. I'm looking at, that'd have been $5 down the fruit shop, and they're good. But it's those sort of things. So I think mine's more about trying to just create a space, but it's not really. I try to make sure that people understand that it's not Brett's men's yarn. It's a yarning circle.
Yep.
When I say yarning circle, it's about if we have tried to set some kind of basic ground rules, and that's like if someone's got the yarning stick, listen to that person.
Yep.
Don't try to fix them or give advice.
Yeah.
No one's really there to do it, because I mean, I think that's the other thing. A lot of people are happy to give advice. But I watch a lot of people who give advice, and I'm like, God, take it yourself. Your advice sucks. You don't even live by it, like live by it. At least walk walk the walk.
I think I worked that out 20 years ago, mate, 15, 20 years ago. I used to love giving everyone advice because it made me feel better about myself, but I wasn't doing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think most people get in. I hear conversations like, mate, I was in Woolies the other day getting some, and there was two people stocking shelves, and one was being the psychologist to the other person, telling them what's wrong with their life and how to fix it.
Yeah.
And I think we all love to be that person because it's an instant, like we may have read some fucking catchphrase or something or a quote on, on how to fix this. Yeah. And it does in that moment, and you may be right, that's maybe what they need to do, but I was doing it with my parents. Oh, you got to listen to Tony Robbins. Oh, you got to do this. You got to do that. And it's coming from a place of love as well.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but you can see that they're never going to do that shit. They're never on board with that. And it's like, but no, like you can change your life. Just by listening to this. And it's like, it's not your life to live.
But I actually don't. I actually don't think that. I don't think that, like, for Tony Robbins' example, I don't think that. Like, say it was you that did that. Yeah. I don't think Tony Robbins changed your life. I think you changed your life.
Yeah.
But I don't think people give themselves credit for that.
No.
Because you're not allowed to do that, because then you're up yourself or you're freaking on yourself. It's like, I really feel that you hear people, and you're usually receptive at that time, because I'm sure that, like I read Dean Karnas's book, Ultra Marathon Man, Confessions of an All-Night Runner. And
now this is one of your idols, your heroes.
I love him.
Yeah.
And I met him, and he came out to our race, and through a whole set of circumstances. And it was like this full circle. And I was sitting with him, and I thought, this guy, I mean, it sounds so ridiculous to say this.
Yeah.
This guy's just a human like me.
Yeah.
And he was nervous because he was going to speak in front of about 500 people. We'd organised this thing.
Yeah.
It was mental, this thing, when he came.
Yeah.
And he was
But to the running world in Australia, he's up here on a pedestal. Like, everyone idolises this guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's in his 60s now, but like, he was in his 50s when he came.
Yeah.
But he was nervous.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting back thinking, but this is Dean. Like, he's solid, he's a #1 bestseller book in New York Times. And I'm like, he's just a human like all of us. And I'm sure everyone that's in that position is that, and they've got their own circle of friends, and they have all these the human condition, like everyone. They're not walking around on cloud 9 all the time.
No.
They'd have all the stuff that everyone does. But I just think that, if everyone's got to try to be perfect to break even, deep shit, and well, I'm in deep shit because I just can't do it.
Yeah,
it's impossible, and I've tried to do it, and the people pleasing thing, it's just like, it's just, I don't know, it most people don't, like you said, they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
it's in me, and I think. It's when you hear the thing, or you meet that right person and they just say something and you're receptive at the time and you actually action something.
Yeah.
That's when it happens.
Well, I think I heard about some of the top comedians the other day, and I think when you get to an elite level in whatever you're doing, part of that is having all these feathers in your cap, and one of them is being humble, right? And the top, I think, of anything, they've got the same thoughts as you. As like, what if people don't find me funny? So you're fucking Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So you're the funniest guy in the world.
Yeah.
So to other people, it's like you're up here, but to them, they're like, what if I get out there and bomb? And it's like, what are you talking like? And so I feel there's so many feathers in the bow to actually become the DNK, like and he's just as humble and as human as the next person.
Yeah.
And then when you saw him, but it's also the picture you've already painted of him before you met him. It's like, because you've just seen his book.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you've got a mental picture in your head of how this guy's supposed to look. He's supposed to come with gold chains and probably 3 birds either side of him.
Yeah, all the thing,
yeah. But he's just a normal dude. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're great. And I think it's when you get that. I suppose that was like a bit of a turning point where I'm like, they're just people.
Yeah.
These guys that are the best runners and that in the world. If there was a couple of them. Especially one on the weekend, and he's a very shy guy. But I've noticed that I don't know if he's got more sponsorship in that now, but he's the world record holder actually.
Yeah.
Phil Gore's his name, and he's definitely shifted. Because he's going to be out there for 5 days doing this race. He's at the back of the pack, which is irrelevant in this race because you get time and all that. But he's got plenty. He's sharing with people about his plan, how he's going to eat. And I'm watching this guy and I was talking with him and I thought it's really nice that he's clearly back there because a lot of these guys obviously don't have to pay for races. They probably get paid to appear. But they're getting paid to appear by these us guys at the back that pay for the edges and that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think if they understand that at that level, this guy's clearly starting to do that. Mate, he's done himself so many favours by just spending some time with people at the back and just chatting with them and sharing of himself. Because that's what people really want, just that moment
for sure.
with their hero.
Yeah.
And he'll have changed people's lives that weekend, for sure.
Most definitely.
For sure.
Mate, what's the difference between just your run-of-the-mill ultra-marathon runner and your elite, like the guy you've just been talking about? Mindset-wise, what do you think's going on in their head that is different from the average runner?
Ultra marathoning's firstly different because, like, in a sense, because it's not like Formula One. We actually get to run with the Formula One drive races in ultra marathon.
Yeah, right.
So in that race I'm talking about on the weekend, they keep 100 spots for elites, and then they open 270 spots they draw you out of the barrel.
Yeah, right.
So all of us guys, and there's thousands now that try and get in it. So the chances of getting in, I've been trying to get back in 6 years. Your tickets double every year.
Yeah, right.
So I've got 32 tickets this year because I'm back in the barrel 6 years after I did it again.
Sounds like me trying to get in the Masters, mate. I can't get it.
Dude, it's no chance. But but so you can go and stand on the line with the best in the world and you'll be walking around with them on the Thursday and the Friday before, and you can just sort of say g'day. I mean, they don't know who you are. You know who they are. And they'll just talk to you. And it's a great sport in that way because it's a real leveler. But I think that they're naturally gifted runners to start with.
Okay. That's
no doubt about it. They're doing like high mileage training weeks. They'd be, some of them would be 200 to 300 kilometers a week.
Okay. Like, have they got a job?
That'd be their job now.
That's their job.
I think the money's come into the sport now.
Yeah,
ultra marathon.
Okay.
I don't.
Is this through like David Goggins?
Mate, there's some of them that they call it dirtbag, and they live in their van.
And
they just go and run trails and stuff.
Right.
You know, they're not chasing the corporate jobs. They're living their life day to day. Just enjoying life and enjoying nature. And you can go on YouTube and there's a young bloke at the moment called Hans Troyer, his name is, and it's about a 30-minute doco, and it's called The Kid.
Was it German?
He might be Dutch background or German background. I can't remember. But he's in America. He's living in his van. He's 23, and he's just this kid that's come onto the scene. And he's kicking ass. He just went into this big thing. He's just come 8th in this race at 23, which is really young in that sport. But just loving life. You know, he nearly killed himself 12 months prior in a race because he got this rhabdo thing, and they told him not to run again and all this, the doctors, and he's running again, but he's running brilliant. And but he talks about it. He said, but if I was to not do this and not live my life, is that really living my life? And I understand there's risks involved with what I do and stuff like that. but he's willing to take them up, because otherwise he's not living. And I really love that. It probably sounds nuts to people, but I get it. Well, if you're not going to do those things you're passionate about.
Do you? I find that you're a bit of an extrovert too. Like, do you get juiced off talking to other people? Like, you're a talker, aren't you?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. But when you run into people that have that energy that's just flowing out of them, it gets you pumped up as well.
Yeah, I suppose and that's why I like putting the events on. I kind of get energy from it. I really feel there's a reciprocation of energy, like we make sure that we've got a really good event.
Yeah.
And then I get to watch these guys do their thing, especially the ones that are in our 100K and they're going to take 23 hours to do it.
Yeah.
You can see when they cross the line and they're in agony.
Yeah.
Their body's shitting itself.
Yeah.
But they're smiling.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing to sort of see.
Mate, I felt for the people coming in at 4 a.m. Like, the people that won, they're having steak dinner down the pub. Like, they're in at 7:30 at night, right? We got in at about 10:30, 11 or something around that. There's still people coming in at 4 a.m. and it's raining like this, cats and dogs. And I'm like, how? Like, I'm in bed in a nice cozy bed, but I know that there's still people out in the field with their bloody flashlights on, still doing it, and they're coming in 4.5 hours. Like, that to me is like craziness, like to do that. So
yeah, and I think it's a different, those elite guys, they bounce back really quick.
Yeah, right.
They're really well trained.
Yeah. But so what about mindset? So obviously physically they're in tune with their body and they're just born runners. What's going through an elite runner's head to say, no, you got this, just keep going?
Well, I think that they can manage pain really well.
Yeah, okay.
I think they can. I think they can put it aside because they'd be in a lot of pain still.
Yeah.
I mean, you're running a long way.
Yep.
They're running in the heat there yesterday.
So high pain threshold.
I think so, and I think that they're just so their body's just so adaptive to that.
Yep.
You can watch them cross the line, and they look like they wouldn't blow a candle out.
Yeah.
And they're ready to. They could keep going.
Go again. Yep.
But and as you're getting further along, as you get into the guys you're talking about, they look like they've been riding a horse for the last freaking 6 weeks.
Side saddle.
Like they're freaking doing these kind of cutting straight in the leg. So and I guess it's and they're just beautiful to watch. The best, like they just float across the ground and they're doing that all the way.
Yeah.
I mean they're moving so fast and
the only way I'm trying to visualize it, but the only way I can think about it is those 5K fun runs when I'm always at the back of the pack, but I'm watching the first guy go past me when I'm about a K in. He's already on his way back, but he's flying. Yeah, like it's almost like he's floating on water. Yeah. But then
they're like gazelles.
They're greyhounds. Like I'm 100 kilos. I'm not going to bloody out sprint over 5Ks. Some kids I've got 30 kilograms on them. Yeah, but just they're floating. Yeah,
they're very really they do a lot. I'm sure they do a lot of work on their running drills and things like that. I'm pretty sure that they would do that. Still, they do the basics. Yeah, so they're amazing to watch. Yeah, but they're dedicating their life to it. I mean, it's they're doing a lot of training and a lot of work. Yeah, to keep in that sort of shape.
So, mate, what's the next goal for Brett Standring? Are you it's the next big ultra marathon run coming up? Did you say it October?
Well, I've put my name down for it.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll see.
All right.
The Coast to Cozzy race. So
watch this space.
Yeah. Hopefully, I did. I don't put my name down for lots anymore.
Yeah.
I think we organise a lot, so there's a lot to do with that, but. That'd be the bigger thing I'd like to do. So,
nice, mate. Nice.
And if I could get in that race in America again, I'd love to go there one more time.
Awesome, mate. Well, mate, look, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, and there's no hesitation in doing the breath work, the ice bath, and jumping in for a sauna. Do you want to have a quick sauna after this? You got time for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that. See, that's what I'm talking about, folks. I
just got to get home. I made dinner already for the men's group, so I could bloody. I knew I'd be here for a little bit because we got bloody yarn, and I was like, oh, gosh, I could go on for bloody. I was like, Shea's a talker too. I said to Mike.
Well, mate, I forgot to do the honorary first lady. Do you want to end the podcast with a ladle, just so all the punters at home know that we're in an actual sauna and there's actual steam coming in this?
So it's a bloody beautiful hot sauna, mate.
It is, mate. Yeah.
We could. I was going to say you could end it with the steam going and we just disappear.
It's a smoke bomb. Yeah. Mate, where do people, if they want to go join these events, the Black Hole 100 and the others, where do they head? Run Queensland.
Yeah, you can just go to the website. That's www.runqld.com.au. Okay. And then we're on Facebook under Run Queensland. Instagram's Run Queensland. Okay. Or at Run Queensland.
All right.
And then we've got a YouTube channel that's Run Queensland, which has actually got some videos of our events and
Gotcha.
like that. Yeah.
I'm going to put a team together for the one. Is it October? Did you say?
Yeah, Black Hole. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I've got a team in mind as we were. As I was in the ice bath, I go, no, I know I'm going to get. Yeah. So we'll be there. So folks, make sure you check out Run Queensland and come join us at the Black Hole 100 because I think it's going to be a great event.
Well, you want to train in the sauna there because that's what it'll be like in October.
Bloody oath, it will be
like a sauna up there.
Human as fuck.
Sauna.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Hey, mate, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and good luck with everything in the future.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Guys, don't forget to go check out Run Queensland. And if you liked this episode and anything that Brett said, if you've got any questions for Brett, let me know and I'll always pass it on. And don't forget to subscribe and like, and we'll see you for the next one.